December 2015. A time forever etched in my heart. It was a devastating time for our family. A time when we lost someone we could never replace, my aunt. The grief was overwhelming. The world seemed to crumble in that moment. But little did we know the story of loss and pain was far from over. A few months later, in 2016, my beloved Granny's heart began to fail. We were all so scared. The doctors said she needed a pacemaker to survive, and we prayed with all our hearts for her recovery. One cold January morning, I was at work, and my brother was busy with his business. Life was moving, but for our parents, things had become unpredictable. That day, we were hit by a shock that no one could have predicted. A drug addict broke into our home. He attacked my father, stabbing him 7 times. He didn't stop there. He hurt my granny, leaving her bruised, purple, and bleeding. It was the worst moment of our lives. The pain, the fear, it was all too much to bear. My mother, busy in her room, had been praying, but in the chaos she forgot to pray for protection. When she stepped out, she was met with a horror no parent should ever witness. My father, bloodied and barely conscious, and my granny, unrecognizable. My brother, frantic, found them and rushed them both to the hospital. It felt like time was standing still as we waited to hear news. The doctors told us my dad was close to death. They said it was a miracle he even made it. My granny, though she was in critical condition, managed to pull through. But the battle didn't end there. A few weeks later, we learned that she had septicemia, and she had to go back to the hospital. It wasn't long before she passed away. The weight of grief was suffocating. We had to heal from that pain, but it wasn't easy. Forgiveness was something we had to come to terms with. We had to forgive the person who brought so much destruction into our lives. As time went on, we began to heal, but just as we thought we were on the other side, the world changed. 2020 came, and with it, COVID-19. I was admitted to the hospital. I was so sick, I didn't know if I would make it. 3 months of pain, isolation, and fear. But even in the darkest moments, my family didn't leave my side. One day, my dad called. He asked if I was okay. I wasn't, but I didn't know that he wasn't okay either. They rushed him to the hospital soon after that call. He didn't make it. The man who had survived so much, the one who fought so hard, left us just as I was trying to recover. The loss of my father was a blow I never saw coming. I was still fighting for my life when he passed, and yet the world kept turning. 3 years after that, my mom, my rock, my prayer warrior, passed away in my arms. It was too much. How could we keep going? How could we carry on after everything that had happened? But here's what we learned through all the pain and loss. We had to trust God. His grace, His love, His strength, they were the only things that saw us through. We learned that healing takes time, and even in the hardest moments, we are never truly alone. As a family, we had to cling to our faith. Through the loss, through the pain, we had to believe in the promise of peace, of healing, and of God's unchanging love. The road hasn't been easy, but we are here, still standing, still trusting in His grace. We've been through so much, but we know that we are stronger than we were before. God has been our refuge, and He will continue to be, and we trust that no matter what comes, we will get through it together. Thank you for listening to our story. May we all find the strength to face the storms in our lives with faith and love.